flying as a chase aircraft.
Well, we should have changed those guys into those towers.
That's good. Nobody knew what the hell was going on.
That's all right. Not the best horse weather right now.
I got this. I'm trying to work on big all backyard units where you have mud and ice. The cold.
Oh, cool.
I wish mine had been.
See you guys, right? February. 1 month out, no, less than that. 2 weeks away. It seemed like it was just like last year, we were wondering whether we were gonna run one. That's kind of cool, right? That's good to see you guys. All right, new faces? Any announcements?
We've got 2 lectures coming up, or actually a lecture, so March 17th, there's a World War I base hospital lecture here on March 17th. And then the 31st, we're showing a Rose of the River film. We're supposed to have a bunch of original Roses coming, we'll see if they show up or not. They're all in their late 90s, so we'll see. The magazines that came last week, the last month, are still out there, so please take some, so you get those back. I threw some Accelerate magazines out on the table. If anybody here is building one of those new MRAP kits, I want to check those out, because there's some cool MRAP crap in those. And we had a huge donation of magazines in the field. People are familiar with the IPMS magazines. I've got like 1,000 PS magazines sitting back there. So if anybody collects that stuff, or those military vehicles are just like weird comic book looking little things on a 5th grade level, let me know. I'll take you back and you can look at them and take some.
Yeah, how recent?
Another project, south of the museum. They have a large display case right now. It's got a Pearl Harbor mock-up or whatever. They're going to take that out, and initially what they wanted to do was show the transition for the 107th from when they flew Spitfire during World War II to the Mustang. So we're going to line up people, Fred's looking for guys to build like either a Spitfire or a Mustang. He'll supply them. He's got the Spitfires on order right now. Today we got talking, and now he wants to go from the Spitfires to they started out in England in Spitfires, and they transitioned to the Allison engine P-51, or F6, either A or B. We're still fighting over that. Then they went to the Merlin engine P-51BC or F6C, and then at the end of where they were flying the bubble top. So anyways, that Fred wants to show like a transition now of all those. Like I said, he now got these accurate miniatures. Now the museum told him, Ed Kaminsky, I guess, told him that they flew F6As, which was, for those that know the Mustang, it was the one with the 220mm cannon in each wing, which I don't think the 107 flew. They didn't transition to the Mustang until mid-1943, and then I think they transitioned to the F6B, which was squadron of the that I haven't determined yet. Fred gave me the Mustang kit the other yesterday. I'm going to have to bring them with me just in case somebody wants to take them home. Now, if you do, let me know, I'll get it to you.
Project that we're gonna do, that you and I are looking at. We made one suggestion to the kernel out itself with regards to the model display that we are, and Bologna are going to put together for them. We'd also like to maybe see if we can get a few figure modelers, because the one suggestion Jim came up with was to, put pilot figures in the same scale from various eras through which the Michigan 107th Fighter Squadron worked with. So we'd probably like to have the 70s and 90s, World War II pilot figures.
Monogram has several pilot figures. Well, I just figured it'd be a little, something added extra so it would show, the kind of equipment they were flying in World War II, 1950s, 1960s, 70s, and 90s. So if anybody's interested in doing a figure, that would be good too. We're still working on that. Apparently the unit has been reported, holding pattern until they get back.
Urban, showcase.
Yes.
Party included. They're usually pretty good, they have really nice layouts and pools and wander around.
Yeah, pick out lots and stuff. Anybody got a bracelet? Yeah.
New place, great leg, shitty parking.
Yeah.
A friend of mine said the table rates are $50 a plate.
Really?
Might be some pretty good stuff, or nobody.
$50, but you better have some that you really good.
Well, I heard it was a little, there's a
I believe the unit is a bit smaller than the other stuff, the lighting is much better. Yeah.
It's like milk, it's acrylic. When you spray that on, it makes everything dead flat. It is, for the armor guys and for the ship guys, it's great. I just got pretty annoyed about Charlie. And he got it over at last Calvary, Paint sells it over there. And I think they might, well, it was sold out over at the soldier shop. It's great. I wish I would have found it sooner. Covers a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, okay. One of my buddies up in Canada, he's a moment from the
About 5,000 feet, but it looks like an airplane.
No, it's, I don't know,
I even brushed it on.
with my eyesight, it's thousands of people.
It's not cheap, though.
I hope you will see.
Spray it.
And I have a few years back.
No, you just
Your friends that, you wanted to.
I'll see that. Let me get your balls.
If you're an accuracy nut, you want to have a belt model. I got one of these. I started after part of 40 scale, but if I'm in a high flash, right? Yeah. Okay, if you don't want to be here, that's fine. If you guys have already filled, this is just a basic fill and seam things. Some of the stuff you may have seen before, you might be bored with. You guys have been around for a while. Some of you guys may have not heard of this stuff or done it, or just try it. So what you want to get for anything round is you want to get these. They're flexi files that come in different grits. They're
Where'd you
real
get those?
handy for doing fuselages and stuff. The idea around those is they're flexible. So when you don't have that flat spot. So if you squeeze them a little bit, and if you put your putty on, you get the exact same contour almost. And they go down from different grits to real fine. They come in real handy for real sharp, small places you need to get in, a little tiny sanding stick or whatever it may be. So there's different ways. There's a lot of different putties that come out on the market. There's just regular dissolved putty is all this is basically. You can fit it with light thinner. This is a brand, this is a brand, this is a brand. There's all different kinds of putties out there. For the small seams and stuff that I have to fill, I use Tamiya gray. I don't like Tamiya white. Tamiya white to me is the same as this stuff, which this is probably 10 years old, but it still works. And there's a perfect putty. It's really super thin. And if you just got a small seam and you put it in, you wipe it with water, it comes right off. You're good. But that stuff doesn't stick to anything. When you go to sand it, it rolls up on a sandpaper. I found, at least in my experience, some other people love that stuff. I hate it. I don't like it at all. Same thing with the Tamiya white. I think it's horrible. Tamiya gray is my go-to stuff. I have another stuff called epoxy sculpt. It's almost like an epoxy putty, but it's not quite. It's freeze-thaw stable. It's a 2-part mix, and I use that for filling all my big seams. And you can also sculpt it as you go.
Roll it?
You roll it. I'm going to do some right now while I'm talking. So you can make it. You don't need a lot, and it comes in different colors. So you always want to have more than you think you're going to need. And it comes in big, giant tubs. It comes in a ton of stuff. I'm just going to knead this out real quick.
Do you want me to do it while you're talking?
Yeah, sure. Just get another wad that same size and then rub them together in your hands, just like rubbing steaks, and do it over and over.
So it's like 50-50, eh?
It's 50-50. It gives you about a 3-hour working time, and then it dries hard as a rock overnight. However, it sands like a feather, sands like a drape. It's awesome. You can drill it, you can tap it, but it still sands and feathers really nice. It's fantastic stuff. So I'm going to use this MiG-21 right now that I got going, just for the easiest way to do it. You guys can't see it, but there's a couple real small holes in the seams here. All I do is I take my Tamiya. Some guys take and I'll put, especially if it's a line that you're not worried about getting putty all over the place, they'll just put tape along it. No matter where the seam is, they'll put tape on both sides. So they slap their putty in there, pull the tape up, and it's easy to get to. Otherwise, they're worried about filling in details and stuff like that. Well, before I do that,
That's the stuff you like though, right?
this is my favorite, my go-to. I'm going to knock it off with acetone. You can get nail polish removal with acetone in it. However, sometimes it's not hot enough or it's not powerful enough to get in, which, depending on what kit that you're doing. I use straight acetone 99% of the time. I have this because some plastics are too soft for the straight acetone, but I use this 99% of the time. But this is available, won't hurt you obviously, just like anything else. So that's my go-to. I use just Q-tips. They make pointy Q-tips for getting in nooks and crannies. So I just take some of this, I slap it in the seam where I'm just going to slap it on. And this is a kit I'm building for a contest, by the way. So it doesn't really matter because you're going to come in here with your acetone or whatever.
Can you get the,
Just like that, huh?
acetone or
Right there.
acetone?
Acetone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Can you buy it in a half pint?
You can buy it in a pint, a quart,
Yeah,
a
'cause I got
gallon,
some of those at home and I
quarter,
can
a
use them.
gallon.
Okay.
Quarter a gallon. So I just dip my Q-tip in there and I just dab it. And then I just go right along and I just start
And that
wiping
doesn't melt
that
the
off.
plastic,
It does
huh?
not melt the plastic on 99%, so you should test it. And I just go along.
Wow.
You can take it all off. And the harder you push, the more comes out of the seam or whatever that you're doing.
But it's like right now though, I mean, you don't have to wait for it to, you don't wait for it to dry or anything, you just pull it off. huh?
Done. Now, no, it won't be dry now, but in a minute, it'll be almost dry. It's real thin now. It fills all the nooks and crannies. And if you're worried about it filling in detail, you go through a lot of Q-tips. And I learned that don't buy the cheap ass Q-tips because they unravel on you, and then you got stray hairs everywhere, and it's not worth doing. So just stick with the name brand as I do. If you don't like what you do, it all comes off and you can start over.
Oh, that's beautiful, look at
So
that.
the more pressure you use, the more putty you take off. So you get, after a few times, you get real good at just knocking down what you need. It works real easy, it's real quick. And you're done. Just let it sit overnight or a couple hours. You can come back in and hit it with 600 grit sandpaper or whatever it may be. 99% of the time, I don't have to come in and sand anything unless there's a big, huge mismatch. That's why I run into a problem like that. On something like this, I'll just ask you. So, this is the same thing. You see, this will work on the big gaps too for this guy. Anybody want to? Oh, pick your weapons of choice too. All these dental tools and whatever, you can still do the same thing. Now, everybody should be able to see those. Those are some big ass gaps. Yeah, you go through a lot of putty, but I'm just slapping it on there, and you just do the same thing. That's an even bigger gap. Just do the same thing. If you leave it wet, you're going to take off too much. So I just dab it and just start pulling it back. You can see how smooth it gets right away. So just pass it around, whoever wants to. Throw it in the ground.
That's quick.
Yes. The acetone takes off paint.
Get that thing out of my face.
You want to do this before you prime. You want to do this before you paint. Okay. So I only took a couple swipes at it. If I keep going, it'll start disappearing more and more and more. You just work your way down. What I got here is, this is something I'm working on for a contest we got coming up. And you can see where I stuck the legs in. This is resin. This will work on plastic too. Okay. This is called Easy Mold silicone putty. What I use to make texture stamps. So what I did was I mixed that 1-to-1, rolled it up just like I did this stuff, and then I pressed it onto what I want to make a replica of. In this case, it was his stomach. I pushed it on there, I let it sit for 20 minutes, pulled it right off, pass that around. And you can see it's the exact same fur, it's just a negative.
Like silly putty, right?
Exactly, only it's permanent, and you can use these on several different projects.
Because it stays rubber?
Yeah, yeah. But it's a lot stronger. It will rip if you pull on it, yeah. You can get this at Michael's, 40% off coupon, really cheap, real good stuff. So now what I do is I just take my ab sculpt, right? You can make whatever you want out of it. And this will cure rock hard. If it's this thick, when you get to here tomorrow, you won't be able to break it in half. You have to really whack it really hard. So I just take it and I just jam it in there, wherever I want it to be. You're gonna take your tools, you're gonna push it in there. Now I'm being a little sloppy, but so it's in there. Now this is called safety solvent. Now you can do this, which is kind of what I did before with the acetone. You need to use this for this. This is the safety solvent. It's like greasy water almost. I don't want to use the word greasy, but water works, but this is so much better.
Where do you get that at?
You can get this, I think I've seen this at Michael's. If not, any of the good hobby stores will be able to get it for you. If not, always go local, of course. If not, you should be able to get it online, anywhere. My fingers are always my best tool, so I just put a little bit either on my thumb or on my finger, and I just go in there and I start rubbing. Just rub and rub, and it fills that seam pretty quick.
The
Is
smile
that
just-
sandable too?
Yeah, very
The
sandable.
smile just got bigger.
Right, yeah. So, if
Okay,
I keep
Jim.
rubbing them with my thumb, it'll actually go into the crevice, right? And then, if I want, I can still go in with my tools, and I can start carving and making the same
Yeah.
thing. But I don't want to do that because I got these texture stamps, right, that I already made. So I just throw some stuff on there, and I push the texture stamp in it really hard. It doesn't have to be that hard because it's still putty. You just rock it around, pass that around. You can see that this, and I did it really fast and quick, and
Goddamn.
it copies this really. Makes it much easier to try and do skin or feathers or whatever.
Where did you do that off of his belly?
Right here. Yeah, this piece I did off his belly, this piece I did off his leg. So anything I want to replicate, that's where I put this. Well, I made my own texture stamps. Yeah, reusable over and over and over until it rips. Doesn't last forever, but I've done several kits with some of these, and I've used them for 3 or 4 years on different projects that worked out real well. Again, I did it really quick and crappy, so I'm gonna take all that off, and I'll go home and do it nice and neat, and I can go with all my tools and make it nice, make it look.
It'll be up to the judges to decide.
Right, but so now you get an idea, so that's basically it, just something to cover. Oh, one more thing, you may have seen this, you may not.
Yeah, that's neat stuff.
On some, this has been around for a while, so you got a gap or a place that's mismatched. They'll just take their
Tool and
Sharpie, right, take their Sharpie, they'll let it dry for a minute, and then they'll start sanding. And whatever is mismatched, you'll still see the black where it needs to be filled and or sanded. You can use silver, you can use black. It's an easy way and a quick way to look without going, is it a hole, is it not? That's just one way to, several different ways to do it. It's real simple. That's pretty much it. I mean, in a nutshell.
Where'd you learn all this, John?
Cool stuff.
Read a lot and
I mean, I've been modeling for 100 years, and I had no idea.
And do it.
yeah, doing it just like anything else. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
Stretch and screw. I don't know how to do that. This is called
Kelly's been doing it.
crap.
If they try on you,
Yep, hold on. Flexifiles. These are called flexifiles. F-L-E-X-I. Flexifiles. So these
got
these
those.
come in real handy for a lot of stuff. This stuff is fantastic. This stuff works really, really good. I recommend it. This comes in huge things of it. Get these small ones. This lasts you a long, long time. And this stuff, it's just like clay. And it, like I said, it lasts 3 or 4 hours before it gets hard. Just let it sit overnight and you're good to go. It's working.
Sounds like I might.
This and this is about all I use. I don't use anything else.
Can they see that?
Yeah, it's Tamiya gray, not the white. I can't stand the white, but some people love it. I just don't.
Wow, that's really fun.
Basically, that's it. Acetone all the time. Make sure you don't spill it. That's will get all over you and ruin
So the
your stuff.
acetone makes it smooth?
Makes what smooth?
The putty.
You're basically thinning it or just wiping off, kind of like a lacquer thinner on paint or whatever.
Right.
But this way, it just kind of, I don't want to say melts, but it goes right into, it makes it so thin you can wipe off all the excess.
Ah, okay.
It makes it much easier.
Yeah, if you wipe into the crack though, you're gonna wipe it out of the crack.
Well, that's why I use a Q-tip or your finger, because even if you do this, you're still gonna have some left in the crack.
So the acetone, you don't gotta sit there and sand and sand
No,
and
that's
scrape
the
the
whole
process.
thing I use in acetone.
You don't need
Yeah.
to.
Digging on that.
When you go across, it's
Uh-huh.
gone. There is nothing to wipe.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's nothing for you to sand, as long as it's not too mismatched, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I sand mine. I have filled it with the solvent as well. It takes a while.
Yeah, if you put it on a surface you don't want and you're not sure,
I didn't do it on purpose.
yeah, it'll take it right out. You can use lacquer thinner, but I think it's too hot for some stuff. Just use acetone as your best bet. This? Nah, you just need nail polish remover with acetone in it. They're all pretty much the same. And this will take you a lot more wipes than the straight acetone. Just straight acetone.
Well, wasn't listening, but did you talk about thinning the putty too?
No, this goes on full string.
Well, but you can
Yes.
thin it with
Lacquer thinner or acetone.
I've done that with,
That's what this is basically.
He may know.
It could, but this is so thin and creamy as it is.
Yeah, airplanes are notorious.
Yeah, I just slap it on. No, it's mine.
I'm scared
Oh,
of
you need it?
them.
You want it?
Going to the belly tank.
Take
But I'm all this shit now. Once I get out the
Take the whole thing. It's all right. I'm rich.
That's what we need for the problem. It's gonna take a while. It's May 1st, right?
Anybody else? We're going to dig this out.
Yeah, you can do it. Just set up the
This thing, I definitely got to do this better at home.
So, I mean, you can just use your clipper.
This is acetone, straight acetone. Straight. Anywhere?
I'm an arbor guy and I'm pointing for shit. And so once I get off shits, it's kind of, I'm collecting the planes.
Gotta have a big saw and one all of it. Take a couple leaps there. I've got all 4 of them.
Okay, for the raffle, the last 4 digits are 5628. 5628. Which one do you want, the MiG or the Catalina?
Market finally,
It's not, it's Dave. You're a proud owner of a
We
BB
would
weapon.
have lights. We would have pictures, so we could do what was going on in the air, especially if I'm gonna run out, you know, every day we're running around.
Last four, 5629. Don't let me down, come on.
Is this pretty dang old?
Yeah, no, he had it, he just, I know, I don't want.
5627.
Ah, so he's drawing again, no, that's, I think it's John.
I guess you didn't mix them too good.
No, I think it's 5626. This big wants you.
Just shake her up a little bit.
That is funny though. He's trying to give it to somebody else and they won't take it.
5618. That's not Dave. 5618.
All right.
You're a proud winner of a MiG.
Is everybody voted on this thing?
Yes, Tom.
Okay.
And as a reminder, the sign-up sheet's there.
The Lindbergh submarine kit that I had and slashed, the shark is from, I think I got it from Hobby Lobby, and where all the little toy animals are. Cut
Is
it
that a
up.
great white or a blue?
Yes.
Good
I don't know, Paul, you tell me.
Hey, don't get snippy.
It looks really cool.
Actually, I had to take like 2.5 inches off after I already had the tail on it. It just didn't look right. After I had it glued on there and cutting up and stuff, I snapped it off. Figured out, shorten it up. A lot of putty, obviously. But everything else is, other than the front and back end, everything else is just from the kit. Just for this stupid little contest we have.
That's great.
I'm gonna talk about yours.
Okay, these I did many years ago, right? These are actually the same kit, believe it or not. I think it's, 39 or 44. It's ballistic with it. This particular one has a Ferrari engine in the back end of it. Fully worked, a Ferrari Dino engine in the back of it. All right, and this one was a funny car, so it has the speak up that goes up the top, but it was just a phase I went through at one point. Started doing wild things and stuff like that, just to see if I could do it, and believe it or not, that's what you can do. Yeah, just with two kits, exactly the same kit. Yeah, many years ago.
It's a 135 scale, and it's got an odd color because I built it in a little tank. It's a video game my son did. Yeah, so I built it for him actually, and it was a foray into tipping of paint. So I started off, I was going to do the hairspray, but turns out I missed a part of the process. I was supposed to put an acrylic on top of the hairspray, and then use water to take the acrylic off. I didn't do it that way. I put, enamel on top, and so I had to repaint it, and I used a liquid mask that you can get, micro liquid mask, and I put that on there. But I repainted it, and shaded it and stuff, and then I peeled that off, and I did manage to peel some off the razor as well. So yeah, that was just kind of stuff.
Have you ever tried the salt technique?
No, Ron was telling me about it. You put the salt on.
You put your base coat on, you put water or something, salt on there.
Yeah.
And it usually works if you use like Epsom salt and table salt and mix it up, you have different sizes.
Yeah.
Put it on, put your top coat on, then you go back to the damp and paintbrush, and just knock off the salt.
Gotcha.
And I'll give you a spotty pepper chocolate.
Yeah, kind of like on the airplane wings and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna try that eventually. Thank you.
Hey, very nice.
M47. I made it for the gentleman whose name on the Plainfield. And it's basically on the box, except I made some springs for the hatches. I got some wire wrapped around the end of the antenna. I put strips on it. Holders for the
Oh, that ground looks beautiful, man. How'd you do that?
The Starfighter.
That's mine, that's the, Gazelle 1/40 scale Starfighter, you can take it in the Canadian model or the US Air Force one, for about $20. I got it going, the polar vortex is coming, I didn't want to go out outside my corridor. I had to do something so I wouldn't go nuts, so I told him, kept myself busy. So,
Alright.
everything fits perfect, everything, it's a real good fit for the money. I mean, it's very nice kit.
I know views are good.
Oh, yeah. That's why I got a lot more miles in my closet to make my wife go nuts.
Came out good. One, the Michigan Air Guard, that's a Academy F4C, that's, made up as a B model, actually. The kit comes with, it says F4C, but it's got all the parts you can do, a J, a C, a D, a late model B, so I decided to do a D with it. Took a black box cockpit and shoehorned it in there, that was a real trip, so I lost the fit, all the fit problems were my problem, not the kit. The decals came out of old Hasagawa. I started out, it was going to be a Minnesota Air Guard, but the decals were screwed up on me, so I found this picture online of a Michigan Air Guard F4B, so I switched over to that. Good kit, goes together real well, most of it, unless you try and put a black box cockpit in it. Boarding ladder comes out of an Hasagawa F4, and the belly tank also comes out of a Hasagawa F4.
How do you paint those interiors? I mean, it's so,
With a brush.
yeah, with one hair on it?
Yeah, well, some of
That's
that's
beautiful work, I mean, you know.
No, I do all the cockpit.
No, very carefully, right?
I couldn't do that. I could not paint that.
Right, you paint very carefully.
I heard you the first time.
Oh, you didn't say anything. You didn't laugh either.
That's about it for the F4.
Everybody laughs at you.
F4B. Next to it is the Zuki Mura F4J. Also a very nice kit. Goes together well. It's not a shake and bake, but it goes together pretty well. John noticed that the radomes were a little, that was a little larger than the Academy. I don't know which one's right. This I did up the VF92 F4J. This is a MiG killer. Call sign was Silver Kite 211. It scored the first kill of the linebacker 1 offense. It's kind of the reason I picked this scheme was this plane. This was part of a 2-plane. They were escorting a group of bombers, and the standing order then was do not go trolling for MiGs. So being the dedicated pilots that they were, right after the bombers got off and were headed home, they went trolling for MiGs. So they overflew Kep Airfield, which is a major MiG base in North Vietnam. And at first they didn't see anything. And then the backseater in this plane called out 2 MiGs on the runway rolling. And it's 2 MiG-21s trying to take off. So they zipped around, came in behind them, and
Wait till they got in the air.
Obliterated them.
well, yeah, they
Yeah,
they
like
lifted
ducks, you
off,
gotta wait till
MiGs
they
got off
fly.
the ground, dropped the belly tank, and then tried to escape, but they were doing like Mach 1.5 by the time they were coming up on the ship. This was flown by a pilot named Kurt Dozak, he fired one AIM-9 and it exploded just behind the MiG. So he fired the second AIM-9 and went up the tailpipe and blew it up. And then he swung over and tried to get the other MiG, and that AIM-9 also exploded just behind. And the other MiG did like a 90-degree turn. The other guy was chasing the second MiG, and his missile went right by and hit the top of a hill. That's how low they were. The MiG got away, some other MiGs started showing up, so they egressed back up. They got back to the Constellation, and everybody was, very happy for Dose because he got the MiG. The other guy, whose name was Austin Hawkins, he was a flight lead. He was in a whole bunch of shit because he went off trolling for MiG. Kurt Dozier was just like, okay, the lead going that way, that's the way I'm going. He got the MiG, Hawkins didn't, but then Hawkins, for the afternoon strike, he was tasked to escort an A-7 Iron Hand SAM suppression aircraft. Anyways, and he was told, if he doesn't come back, don't you bother coming back. That's how much trouble he was in. But Dose got the MiG. So that was, I always liked that story. So that's why I picked those markings. Instead of, the kit comes with Cunningham's Showtime 100 markings, but I don't know, after Cunningham got in all that trouble with the congressman, I kind of lost.
Is he still in jail?
No, he's in Arkansas, living very quietly.
What kind of MiG did they hit?
21.
They never hardly sent, because he only had like maybe 50 21s, North Vietnamese.
Yeah.
He didn't like to send them up. He always sent the MiG-15s after him, or the 17s, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, like I say, Dose got his MiG on the first strike, and then in the afternoon strike, that's where Cunningham and Driscoll became the first Navy aces with their 3 kills. Plus
They ever take them down with the guns? They didn't have guns
No,
on
not
them.
the Jason.
They had to use missiles, huh?
Yep.
E's are the first ones with the guns.
Yeah.
If you compare the two kits, Jim, which one is your favorite?
Oh, boy. They're both good kits. The ZM kit, the top kit detail.
Yeah, this is a Tallieri and this is a Ziva. They're both Russian tanks during the Spanish Civil War, 1936 and 39. And BT-7, it's on the Republican side. And they were sponsored by Stalin. And they were Bolsheviks and anarchists and unionists and all that. This is a captured T-26 with the nationalists. They were sponsored by Mussolini and Hitler. And it's funny that I painted they paint the national colors on the gun turret. On the Republican side, it's red, yellow, and maroon. And then when they captured by the nationalists, they would paint red, yellow, and red. You know, to distinguish it as a captured, but you know, the dust and everything, it always look the same. I don't know how they could differentiate. One thing, they put the St. George cross on the top of the gun turret on the nationalist side so they could, see it from the air. They're pretty basic kits. They have vinyl treads. The only addition was I put my own screen on the back here, because the motor would look like shit. So I put my own screen and stuff, drilled out the exhaust ports on it, added a tow chain on the front, and the decals came from Star. And they give you a whole line of Spanish Civil War tanks. They got Germany sent over their Panzer A's. I did a couple of those, but they didn't bring those in. And they give you the decal sheets for particular tanks. And Republicans would put little, what do you call them, models on it, Viva la Kurski, Taco Bell, on the gun turrets and that, but the Nationals, they didn't put any of that crap on there. But that, they're interesting kits, they were easy to build, and that's it.
Good job on the
What
load.
scale are you?
That is the old, even older monogram kit. The front axle is from an AP-49 Mercury. The back axle is out of a 29 Ford pickup. And it actually does have a drive shaft from the rear end to the motor, if you're wondering.
Wow.
All the struts are just plastic, styrene tubing. The wheels are off the 29 Ford pickup. The front struts that are holding the front axle to the fuselage, those are actually the landing gear from the Hellcat. In the rear fender, so to speak, that's a 500-pound bomb split in half. And I was trying to do like a Bonneville flat racer, and originally it was white with the red on it, and it just looked terrible. So I did the navy blue and rusted up the add-on area because the airplane itself would never rust with aluminum. So,
What race was it?
the boat get 500.
Oh, I've been there.
Bonneville Salt Flats. You're on your own.
What was your idea for that? Where did it come from?
I actually saw a friend of mine, it's been on the internet, he did one out of a Messerschmitt. And because the Messerschmitt's a smaller airplane and it looked nice, but I wanted something that looked big and American.
Yeah, no, really good.
He did really good.
I built 3 of these, other 2 were friends, I want to build one for myself. I built the Surfer Girl, and I built the, but this one I wanted to change into a Mustang, but there was too much work to make it into a Mustang, so I made it into a Russian jet, imaginary. And repositioned this right arm, instead of being out the back with blowtorch, I put it up front, added a bomb to it. I used the blowtorch flame in the back. I blanked off the jet intakes with a flat panel and chrome model car grills cut to look like missiles in the 2-side rocket pods. And the nose I cut off the back of a 262 engine nasal, turn it upside down, molded in, and then hand painted virtually everything. And added the cigar and the gold tooth, and put the tongue in his mouth where it belongs on the head. And he's crazy, so I gave him, crossed eyes and smoke off his cigar. So that's my crazy idea.
Yeah.
Some interesting work here. Third was the Valvoline Special. The third prize for the third.
The Street Fighter?
Street Fighter, Street Fighter got 3. The
Hellcat.
Hellcat, I thought it was really cool. That was really, yeah, I could see you doing that. Right. Yeah, and the Madness of Bad Hatters.
All right.
What's that
The
for?
more outrageous, the better. Look out next year.
I'll take it for next year, guys.
No way.
And,
Was that 3 for 3?